we're going to start here right at the beginning. If anybody doesn't know how to log in, you got to go to remax.net first, type in your login credentials. And that's going to take you right into your Max Center. From the Max Center, you want to go to the kvCORE platform. You're going to click on that app right within the dashboard, and it's going to bring you to your MAXTECH powered by kvCORE dashboard. Okay. Before we get rocking and rolling on the automation side of things that I wanted to show you guys, I just wanted to go over a couple little things within the dashboard here for you guys to take a look at. So up at the top, this should be coming into everybody. I think this is a cool little feature to stay up to date with what we're doing as a company. I've been trying to keep everybody informed with the meetings coming up and events that we're having, like the ice cream social. I can put this on our company little notification block here at the top of everybody's dashboards. So if you're in a pinch and you need to find like the link to next Tuesday's Zoom meeting or something like that, you can easily go to one of these blocks, click right on the link, and it's going to take you right into that Zoom meeting, which I think is helpful for me and hopefully helpful for you guys. So looking down here, this just gives you a summary of the activity within your CRM database and the contacts within there. If you have scheduled calls or tasks coming up, you can click on either of these tabs and it's going to show you those scheduled calls or tasks that are due here today or past due or upcoming. So it gives you all three options. This calendar is pretty cool. It will sync with Google or Outlook, which, you know, if you're not working from a computer with dual screens or something like that, I think it's a pretty quick, easy way to reference what you have going on when you're talking with a past client in your database. You can quickly click that calendar tab and see if it's something that's going to work for you in your schedule. Let's go now to our CRM and kind of jump into these automations that I wanted to talk about here today. So if you guys aren't aware, it's really easy to add somebody quickly to your database. Up here in the top right, you have this add a contact button. And you click on it, you put in their contact information, email address, phone number. You can put in the current house they're living in or, you know, renting. You can put that in there. You specify what type of lead they are. You can add, you know, vendors, contractors, or agents to your database as well. The lead status, you know, we'll talk about that a little bit as we open up a specific contact, but you're going to select whether they're, you know, a sphere, prospect, new lead, active lead, client, etc. So down here, you can quickly apply a smart campaign if you have something set up. This is a automation that you know, you can apply to this contact right off the bat if you already have something designed. These are a little more complex in my opinion. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the simpler ones. But down here in the notes, you definitely want to add hashtags. So the hashtag system is a way to label contacts within your database, which helps you to easily search, create mailers, create emails to people of a specific nature, whether it be just sellers or people who bought in 2023, you know, or, you know, a center of influence or something like that. You want to be very specific and label these people in here because it gives you a lot of creativity options going forward later. So let's X out of here quick and pull up somebody that's already in our database. I'm going to search for Jess, and she's going to come right up. And I'm going to click on Jess Pines. So over here on the left-hand side, this is all the contact information specific to that buyer. So up at the top left, you got their phone number, email address, and their address. If you want to edit these things, you click on the pencil in the top right, and that's going to allow you to come in here and manipulate these if you have to. You can add more hashtags throughout your client journey with them as well, or delete them if you wish to. The other thing you can do, you can periodically, it does it for you, but it runs a contact validation where it, I believe, references like social media sites and Google search and that sort of jazz to just verify that their email address and phone number is still relevant. So moving over here to the center, this is where we get into that client journey that I kind of talked about when we were adding a new contact. So sphere is pretty self-explanatory. These are people, your centers of influence, friends, family, past clients. You put them in the sphere. And as Keith and I kind of talked about before, the goal of this is kind of to progress them through this client journey. As folks become a new lead, I'm going to skip back here and talk to prospect in a little bit. You're going to move people over from your sphere to a new lead. Maybe they're thinking about selling, or mentioned that they're thinking about buying. Once you set them up, maybe with an automatic search, you move them over to active lead. Let's say you finally put them under buyer agency. They become a client of yours. And then let's say they go under contract on a home to purchase. You move them to that contract status. And then closed is obviously when they settle, or you put them back here in your sphere if you're going to continue to work them. Prospects is a interesting label here, and to me it could be used for a bunch of different purposes, but one in particular, we like to encourage people to work for sale by owners in expired. So we send out those CSV list, which is a Excel format that you can upload those folks right into your database and keep them all in one spot under this prospect designation, and work them from right in your database, which is pretty cool. It keeps them separated from all the people you know, and you're working in other regards. But as you know, they go through the client journey as well. If you get them on the phone and they do become active with you, you can move them through the client journey just as if they were any other lead, which is a great option. But coming down here to the bottom, this is where you have all the activity for that client. When valuations were sent, when emails were sent, you can have notes in here for the last time you talked to these folks. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this. Keith likes to pin his notes. Anytime you add a note, you can pin it to the top. That way it's the most, when you pin something, it goes automatically to the top of the list. So let's say this was a note. Now, the next time you come in here and you talk to Jess, that information's at the top and in the forefront of what you're talking about. So you remember the previous conversations. And if you just simply want to unpin it, you click that button and it falls back in line based on, the timeline. Moving over to the right, this is where we get into some of these automations, which are pretty cool. To me, the first one I want to bring up is the market reports. So market reports can be used in a couple different ways. For them, in this instance, Jess bought with me back in April, I believe, and I have set her up with an automated market report of Newberry Township. So this gets sent out every 28 days, she gets something that's branded to me with my contact information and just keeps her in the loop to what's happening with regards to real estate within the township she's residing in. So this is a cool touch that you spend no time after you get it set up, that just continues to nurture the people within your database. The other cool creative way that you can use this is you can add in here maybe the township or the school district or something like that when you list a seller's home. This you can manipulate when the time period in which they get this. So let's say you listed a seller's home and you want to keep them up to date with what's going on in the changing market every 7 days. And you can tell that seller, hey, you're going to get something from me, and it just keeps you in the loop as to what's going on with the market every 7 days. And this is something, again, automated on your behalf without you having to even lift a finger after you just come in here and simply set this up. So I'll show you how easy it is. You can add multiple ones. So let's talk about that too. Let's say they're a buyer and they already live in Newberry Township, but just told me that maybe they're looking for a second home somewhere else in the state of Pennsylvania, or they're potentially looking to purchase an investment property and they want to do that within Hampton Township. So you just come down here to add, you click add. It's going to give you another drop down, search for location, start typing in Hampton Township, and the internet's thinking right now, but it should start populating.
It's right into the MLS, right?
It does, yeah. So see, Hampton Township comes up, you select that option, and you're going to set probably 28 days for that. And, there's no limit to the amount of market reports, that you can send somebody. So based on your conversations, obviously you can use this as a pretty helpful tool. So I'm going to cancel that one out. But again, that's a pretty cool little automated feature that helps save you some time and continues to nurture your clients. The other little piece that I like in this right-hand column of your dashboard within the contact is the listing valuation. So you can see down here that the last time I checked and sent it to them was 7/3. I'm sorry, it wasn't the last time I sent it, but it was the last time it was checked within the platform. You can update and send this at any point in time by clicking this button, so long as you have their property address in there. And what it does is it sends and emails them a automated valuation model and tells them, generally speaking, an estimate of what their house is worth. So if you talk to this person in 6 months and they say, what's the market doing? Has my home price dropped? And you can say, I'll quickly send you a estimated CMA or a automated valuation model. And you come in here, click that button, and within a few seconds, you can give them a general idea of what their home's worth. Obviously, explain to those folks that if you want something more specific, let me come out there, take a look, and I can provide you a free CMA, which has actual comps reference to give you a more specific idea of value. But again, this is something that's pretty quick and easy, takes very little amount of your time, and keeps your clients in the loop.
Brooks, if you click on that, will it show you the one that it just sent? So if they say the questions, you can pull it up and view it.
So that is within, I believe, Keith, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's probably in this this activity feed. Did I blow right by it? Okay.
So if you hit view on that.
Yep.
Over on the right hand side.
View. There you go. So this is the email that was sent to Jess. 492, dear Jess. And then it gives them a little bit of a market report, the average home value, some information, houses. And then again, all this is branded to you. You can customize your email signature within the platform. But yeah,
It's great.
pretty awesome, neat little resource there for you.
And that doesn't go out every 28 days.
Yeah, so this Newberry Township, this is the market report. So this is what goes out to them every 28 days.
Okay.
I have set up. So homes for sale in the last 30 days, 50. It's down 7.7%. Here's the average home price, down 0.2%. To me, this is some pretty useful data that a lot of people who are analytical will like. Some people will just probably delete it, but it's something, again, free to them. It's an item of value, and it's just something branded to yourself that's specific to this client that kind of keeps you in the forefront of their mind and proves to them that you are their real estate person. So moving ahead here, we're gonna get into the profile details. This is where you can add a couple more of these automations. So to edit these details, we click this top left box here up at the top and slide down. The first one we're going to talk about is this last close. So I have here their purchase date, which I said they purchased in April of this year. So every year, so long as you have this date in here and you have this switch toggled, they are going to get sent both a anniversary email and text, which is pretty cool. Mine, it simply says something to the effects, congrats on another year of home ownership. Cheers to another year of great memories. And if you ever need any type of specific real estate expertise, I'm your guy, blah, 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 and contact information. So they get that, again, both email and text on your behalf without you having to even remember this date or do anything. Pretty cool little feature.
Do you then get notification at that one out?
So it's going to show up under their activity within that client center column, and it might show up on that first dashboard that we talked about in the beginning. I said there's a dashboard of overall activity, so you're probably going to see that email there within that activity. So if you're going to your daily call list or task list, you can quickly glance at that and see, hey, I just saw I sent Jess this valuation. Maybe I want to follow up with a phone call or something like that.
When you turn it on there, Brooks, does it show you what it's going to send, or allow you, where do you modify it?
We're skipping a little bit ahead, but I'll show you where you can modify these, Jim, in just a second.
Okay.
So the last little easy to me in one of the probably, I guess, 4, I would say, that I would focus on initially, points of automation, is this birthday. It's very easy to get this information. In my opinion, you can either call or ask them, or also you can simply use Facebook these days. Most people, more often than not, are on Facebook and they have their birthday right there on their Facebook profile. But you can put this in here and they are going to get a text and email every day on their birthday, and it goes out to them. And it's a great, honestly, it's a conversation starter, because I've had a couple people now, it sends them out the birthday text, and they reply back to me, thanks, Brooks. You know, it was a great day. I spent the day by the pool. It was awesome with the family. And then you can follow up and continue on that conversation. But again, this is something that once you set it, it takes a little bit of data entry in the beginning, which to me, it's not too big of a time suck, but you put that data in there, and then they get to be nurtured continually without you having to lift a finger. So getting to Jim's point, where do you edit those birthday and home anniversary text email? So there, you're going to come to your, where are we at? Marketing. So under your marketing tab here, you got your smart campaigns and all marketing. So smart campaigns is where you're going to find the automation templates. But first, I'm going to show you what they look like and what's getting sent out generally. So let's go to all marketing here. And if you come down to this birthdays and anniversaries block, click learn more. So you got two different separate ones, obviously, for birthdays and anniversaries. So birthdays, you can also designate who in the client status you want to send those things out. I want to send them out to everybody, you know, regardless of what client status they are in. So I toggled all of them, but you do have the option to separate different client status if you so choose. So to change the template, you simply hit change here. And it's going to show you what's in there initially. So I have the generic happy birthday one in. I haven't automated or adjusted this one because if you look down here in the grayed out area, I've manipulated the text and I labeled it something other than the generic. But I thought the birthday email was good enough as a generic option, so I left it. But if you want to change it, you simply hit this X and then you search for the other template that you manipulated within your smart campaigns, and you add that in there and then hit save. So I'll show you where you can edit these generic ones that are already in place if you haven't done anything already. So like I talked about, to get to all your smart campaigns, you go under your marketing tab and hit smart campaigns. You're going to want to go to templates and search for birthday. So this is the generic one that comes up. So I didn't want to recreate the wheel, and what I simply did was clone this. I made a copy of it and then edited that as I saw fit. So you make a copy, you can come in here, you can change the photo, you can change the header, you can change the verbiage, really can get creative. The creativity is endless. If you wanted to, you can embed a video in here. So if you have a YouTube channel, you could go on there and record yourself singing, you know, the short birthday song. This is the birthday song. It doesn't last very long. Hey, and put that in there. And now you've got something a little goofy, wacky, unique to you. But again, creativity, the options out there are endless. So you can edit those. Once you're done, you hit update template. It's going to save it. Sure, yes, I'm getting out of there. But you're going to save it as something other than this one, obviously. So whether it's just simply copy, or typically I put Brooks happy birthday in there. That way, when I go back into my birthday and anniversary block and I go to change, I'm going to search for Brooks happy birthday, and it comes right up. So you can do the text message ones as well by simply clicking over on that tab that says text message, pulling up the happy birthday text. You clone it, hit edit, but this is what I have sending out. Just wanted to say happy birthday. Hope it's a great one. Wishing you all the best on your day. And then I saved it. And once you're done manipulating these, we go back to all marketing, come back to the birthdays and anniversary block, change whatever template you're trying to change. You're going to click out of what's there, type in Brooks, happy birthday text, add that one in, add template, and then it saves it in there and you're done. And hit save, successful. Now all your clients that are set up with birthdays and anniversaries are going to be contacted, you know, once a year on those dates. Again, this stuff to me is the stuff that we should be focused on right now with the home anniversaries, the birthdays, and the seller, well, just, you know, market reports and the valuations. Those 4 points, you got to start small. That to me is the place to start. So get the people into your database, set them up with these dates and the market reports. And now this is your core basis where you can start implementing these higher level strategies of automation and stuff like that. But this is at least something where at a minimum, they're going to be contacted every month on your behalf with, you know, that seller market report. So that's the gist of the core stuff that I wanted to present to everybody here today. At this point, I'll open it up for more open discussions. Keith, is there anything you want to kind of add to this core basic stuff to get people started?
No, I think starting with the basic stuff is important, and then adding other stuff as you go in, because there's a bunch of automated. Why make a bunch of work for yourself when you can just click a button?
Right. And in my opinion, it's easy to get overwhelmed within this system because there is so much creativity and different things and strategies that you can do within here. And some people get frustrated right off the bat because there's so much offered. Start with these simple ones and build from there. But if you at least get people contacted once a month, giving them a update on the township they reside in, it's something, and then grow it from there. Jim, any questions on your end?
Well, it makes more sense to me now, Brooks.
Sure.
I went over this the other week, but sometimes I need to see it twice, you know.
Yeah.
For reinforcement, so.
Yeah, and you know, I wanted to go back and revisit this stuff again because I believe it's the basis, and like I said, it's overwhelming. There's so much in there and it's easy to forget little steps and finding your way back to this type of content. So recording this and sending it out to people, hopefully it gives people a reference too of where to go within the platform to find this stuff and get some of this stuff started for themselves. Ray, Shelley, thoughts, questions? What are you guys thinking? Oh, and Aaron, I forgot you're on here too. If you guys have any questions or comments, let us know.
The only comment I have is I think it would be helpful if we started using this as a normal every morning thing to look at and to address.
Sure.
Because I didn't know you were putting messages up across because I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't aware. I'm sure there's a large majority of people that haven't even really logged into this platform and played around with it all that much. But yeah, to me, this was the starting point of getting people in there. Well, the real starting point is putting people in the platform. because you can't work anybody if they're not in there. So once you get them in, then you got to set up some of this automation and play around with the dashboard, visit, like you said, once a morning, what you have going on as far as calls and tasks, what the company has going on as far as those announcements, banners up at the top, and you know, build from there.
This is like having an assistant that doesn't talk back to you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's quite helpful.
Sure. Yeah, it's pretty neat. There's a lot of creative stuff that you can do in here, and like you said, it is almost having a virtual assistant
Yeah.
in some ways.
Did you say Seth could help us track down birthdays too, maybe?
Yeah. So Seth, on your past deals and stuff like that, he's got a lot of that information. So if you're missing a birthday or having trouble finding one, reach out to Seth and he can use his iAchieve program to see if he has that information in there. All righty. Any other questions while we're here? And you got Keith. Keith knows this probably better than anybody else. So if there's something that you've been playing around with and having trouble with, you know, we'll bounce it off him and try to get you an answer.
I think it's a great system. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I was just telling my uncle this morning, this is one of the pieces of tech since I've been a part of Remax that I really think is kind of huge and beneficial. Something that saves you time and is nurturing your clients. The cool piece, I'll add this, is in, I think it's August 1, is when they're adding that whole, the previous kind of design center that we used to have. It's currently through Megaphone, but Megaphone's going away. So once you put a listing in the MLS, it's going to pull that information, design flyers, postcards, property websites, that sort of stuff. And if you have your Facebook account, your Instagram account, and that sort of stuff, LinkedIn, I think, is on there too. If you plug those social media platforms in, as soon as you get that listing, you won't even have to think about it. The listing gets posted to those platforms automatically for you. And then getting into the higher level stuff, you can manipulate those posts so that when a consumer clicks on it, they have to register right away. And once they register, they're applied another smart campaign that puts them into a drip follow-up campaign where they're sent texts and emails on your behalf without you even knowing, really. You know, they register for your website and then they're contacted and you didn't do a thing. So, you know, creativity again's endless, and it's a really robust system. But we'll get to that in the future. For now, stick to the basics.